Get in the shot more. Hey, we're gonna go see The Flash. Ezra Miller, totally not racist Ezra Miller as the lead.
Totally not woman choker, Ezra Miller.
Yeah, alleged man caught on camera choking a woman. Yay!
Allegedly. Let's go.
We'll touch these.
Okay.
Saw the Flash.
When Flash is running, he looks like a grandma on a treadmill or a grandma doing water aerobics. And then also he throws babies into microwaves that are poorly animated and makes no sense.
This is by far the ugliest superhero movie I have ever seen in my life. When Flash runs, he's just like flailing around. It's not even realistic in the slightest. I think they addressed how stupid it looks when he tried running without his powers, and he was just kind of flailing around. It just doesn't make any sense. And the CGI looks so much worse. Whenever he's wearing his suit, it's painfully obvious that this is not a real human being wearing a suit. It is completely artificial. The babies look so fake, you would expect it to be a cutscene out of Call of Duty.
And you want to know what else, you guys? They also ripped off the part from X-Men where Quicksilver runs real fast and saves everyone's lives at the school and when they went to free Magneto. When Flash essentially... Shut up. You know what I'm talking about. And what happened is when they stole that, it was when Flash was moving so fast that he was able to eat a bunch of food while running, while people were falling out of midair, and collect all these babies, throw them into microwaves, and catch them all, including a dog and a nurse. And it was painfully unrealistic and pretty much ripped off of X. There was a pretty big plot hole in this show. It's explained that the way Flash got his powers is when he was at this lab, and there were chemicals on the front of his desk, and the lightning shocked him through the chemicals or whatever, and he got his powers. But then later on in the film, that's exactly how he lost his powers, apparently adding 1 + 1 = 0, because that makes sense. And then later they repeat the experiment and they try to have the chemicals and the lightning again, but this time the lightning doesn't work. The chemicals were implied to be there but weren't really seen there. And Supergirl takes him up into the sky so he gets shocked by lightning again, and somehow that does give him his powers.
The way Supergirl dies makes absolutely no sense in the slightest. She gets plucked by a little, like, needle and just dies. It was never explained if this little needle was Kryptonian infused, but it didn't look like it. Because it wasn't green. Supergirl was too hot to die.
The plot was actually high quality because it kept the viewer guessing and it wasn't totally predictable.
You stole my next point again!
Well, it's because it's
Stop
awesome.
stealing my... Okay, everybody's been clowning on this story saying it's horrible. Yeah. They mostly be tripping. This is a pretty good story. I thought the twist at the end was really fun if it wasn't dulled down by the PS2 graphics. Much better than all these clowns on the internet are saying. Now make your stupid...
This was the first time I've ever watched a Batman adaptation and actually enjoyed Batman. He was actually cool in this one. They also did a great nod to Ben Franklin. When Ben Franklin did the experiment back in the day, he attached a kite to a key and was able to harness electricity that way. And then they did the same thing with Batman to harness the electricity. They flew a bat kite. Also, this is my last point.
No!
This is my last point.
You just...
Let go. You're hurting my fingers. You're so dumb.
So bad.
I know, because you're your baby.
Frick off!
Totally my last point. Total not woman strangler, Ezra Miller.
Totally not a woman strangler. Totally not a woman abuser.
Total not ran from the police for weeks.
100%.
Ezra Miller.
Not a cult leader. No.
Did a great job of portraying two different versions of himself. This silly, wacky teenage version, and a serious, whiny baby version of himself. Hats off to not woman strangler, Ezra Miller.
They definitely should have recast Flash. I feel like this movie would have done way better if Ezra Miller, the totally not woman strangler and cult leader Ezra Miller, if he wasn't in it, this movie might not have tanked. Also, side note, Supergirl, you're so hot.
You're so horny.
Dude, I have no chance. She's out of my league, but she's hot.
But what about the Justice League?
Oh!
Everyone go away and never come back.